Internet Besties, it's your girl Noel Bleu, and I'm here bringing you another video from Blu Moon Fiction. If you're new here, hey new boo, and if you're coming back, hey friend. Today I'm diving headfirst into a literary adventure covering the Hunger Games, Harry Potter, and the entire Shadowhunters series. Why these three? Let me tell you. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe so you can keep up with me and all my latest reads and bookish videos. Firstly, these series are legendary for their detailed world building, intricate character arcs, and their epic tales sprawling across multiple installments. Plus, their massive international fandoms and blockbuster movie adaptations have redefined what we know as the YA genre. Now, these three series have been constants on my TBR list for, being honest, I never finished Harry Potter. I'm still sitting somewhere in the woods next to Oliver Woods on a tree stump, somewhere in the Goblet of Fire. Shadowhunters, after the first book, me and my mom got into a fight over who actually owned the collection, and I quit in spite of her. Games? I'd never even read this book. None of them, actually. Watched every single movie, and never once did I bother to crack the spine on them. So, in 2024, it is my attempt to do just that. I am reading every book and their installments and their side copies that go with them for the entire year. These three series will take up my entire life. But here's the thing. I am not just going to be reading these books. No. I am going to be immersing myself as a character within these incredible worlds. So each book becomes a chapter in my own personal saga as I continue. Basically, I get to become a character in the book, complete with costumes, makeup, hair, the whole nine. We're going full-blown cosplay character here. I survived the Hunger Games. Am I going to be standing with Dumbledore's army? I don't really know what a Shadowhunter is, but will I be a Shadowhunter? The anticipation is killing me. I chose this approach as a fun way to basically get involved in the writing process, but also it's just a fun little writing exercise to engage more in the stories overall. These are long, lengthy trilogies, quadruple-logies. I don't know how many books are in the Shadowhunters, but once you get past 5 books in a series, I figured might as well try to shake things up. I'm going to become a character in each of these books, starting with the Hunger Games. That I decided to do right off the back was check out the fandom of these series, because as we all know, and I'm in the Gryffindor house as we speak. Check my pages. We have all of the Gryffindor things there. The fandoms for each of these books is humongous. Literally, it spawns fan fiction, spin-offs, movies, a bunch of merchandise. They literally have Harry Potter bubble bath and toothpaste. Part of this entire experience for me is engaging with the audience, the people who love the books. Like I said, I personally loved Harry Potter, but I stopped at the 4th book. I like hanging out when I run into people who, are different houses. But I don't know anything about the Hunger Games or the tributes, and I'm not really familiar with the fan fiction world of the Shadowhunters. But it seems interesting. I mean, especially since they have a bunch of quizzes and discussions. They got a bunch of memes that I like laughing at. And I'm already hooked on all of the Gryffindor house Instagrams. They done made Hogwarts very hood, and I am here for it. So I guess I'm ready to dive in more as a character than a narrator of these series. Actually catapulted their authors into the literary spotlight. J.K. Rowling reigned over the late 90s and early 2000s. I very clearly remember her every single year for Christmas appearing under my Christmas tree because Noel likes books. Suzanne Collins delivered 3 consecutive years of literary fury, followed by a surprising return. And Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter universe has expanded since 2007, totaling over 17 literally, guys, when I was researching which books I would read for this year and I decided to do the Shadowhunters series, I thought it was the first 6 and then I thought it was the first 6 and then the other 3 and then like the Bane Chronicles and then that was it. And that is how Shadowhunters ended up on my 2024 reading challenge list. Didn't know that there were over 17 books that I needed to read in order to complete this challenge. So, yeah. Happy we signed up for that. All in all, I think it ends up being about 36 books that I've chosen to read this year. And I'm pretty sure that I should have started sooner. Always. So guys, did you know that before the Shadowhunters saga, Cassandra Clare worked for The Hollywood Reporter? Me either, but she did. Her innovative City of Fallen Angels by attaching intriguing in-universe letters to new book releases to stir up more of a media buzz. So if you bought a Cassandra Clare novel during that time period, you got a piece of memorabilia from the book. And if I'm not mistaken, that is something that Crate and other subscription services capitalize on. So look at who started talking about innovative ways to stir a narrative. J.K. Rowling actually used the media's attempt of creating a narrative for her to sell Harry Potter. So we all know that when J.K. Rowling was writing the Harry Potter series, she allegedly was homeless or something to that effect. I think she might have been sleeping in her car. Young son. She was a divorcee striving to finish a series on the mean streets of London, allegedly. J.K. Rowling will never admit to how poor she was or was not after her divorce, but she did allow the media's portrayal of her as being downtrodden and a single mother on our sympathies. She basically allowed us to feel sorry for her, to buy her books, to help her into billionaire status so that she will never have to sleep in a car again. One of the more interesting things that I learned about Suzanne Collins, who ended up getting notoriety for the Hunger Games, was that she actually was already a noted author with her teen children's series called The Underland Chronicles. The book itself is actually pretty interesting. I believe it's loosely based on the Alice in Wonderland series, but there's a young man who goes to, I guess, Underland and gets to go on adventures. So I didn't look much into it, but she did get lots of awards for that prior to writing the Hunger Games series. And then, of course, she did the Hunger Games. And now she's doing Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I bought the book and have to read it now. It's expanding the world of the Hunger Games. I didn't want to expand my view of the Hunger Games until I had a view of the Hunger Games, so I decided that I would wait to read that. But according to BuzzFeed, you are actually supposed to wait and read all of the Hunger Games series first and then go read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I'm doing it right. All right, so we've talked about the authors, we've talked about the books as a whole and their fandoms, but let's talk about the series themselves. So I'm going to be starting with the Hunger Games anyway, and I'm actually really excited about starting the series because, again, like I said, it's the only one I haven't even cracked a spine on. Hunger Games themselves is actually set in a post-apocalyptic North America. See what happens when global warming hits you? We end up in Panem. That's what happens. So Panem is this dystopian world where the districts are forced to battle it out in a televised gladiator-style game called the Hunger Games. And it is time to uncover the many layers of the socioeconomic inequality, civil unrest, and rebellion of Panem, which sadly sounds a lot like the United States in 2023. I hope that it's not that close to the United States in 2023. Something tells me it will be. So we're going to be starting with the Hunger Games. But Again, like I said, I'm going to be jumping into the story as a character. So I already took my quiz, and we're going to be talking about that in my next video. I took my 2 quizzes. I have my character. I'm starting to formulate a cosplay idea. Her hair will be blue. That's all I know. All right. But Hunger Games is my first stop on my reading adventure saga. And after I do the Hunger Games, I am going to be heading back to Hogwarts. Hopefully this time I graduate. Like I said, I'm still a 4th year sitting in the woods next to Oliver Wood, and I don't care. I originally started, it would help if we turned it right side up. I started reading Harry Potter back in 5th grade. It was actually assigned reading, and then I got really hooked into the series, and my mom started reading the series with me, and then she got so interested in the series that she basically hoarded all of my books away, my Harry Potter books, and so they weren't mine anymore. And then of course, like you guys know, if you follow my channel, you know I talk frequently about my mom's acid fingertips. When she reads books, she does not take very good care of them. And so the very first Harry Potter book that I ever got from Scholastics literally fell to crap, and I was devastated. So when they came out with the anniversary collection, house books, which I found out is they have the whole series on Amazon. It is on my Amazon wish list. Anyone who loves me should get me the rest of the Gryffindor house Harry Potter collection because I want it. Thank you. Yeah, I immediately bought this one to replace my very first copy, and it was one of the few books left. I had slowly begun to rebuild my Harry Potter collection, and it was one of the only books that was missing. So I bought this, and I have never read it because I am terrified that if I do, then I will somehow harm its pretty pages. But we're gonna read it now because we have to. This and many others. And so, as you guys know, Harry Potter is about the boy who lived. No duh. If I have to tell you guys about Harry Potter, I'm not sure if you should even be watching this channel. But again, if you've never heard of Harry Potter, welcome. Come to mama. Let me explain to you about the boy who long ago in London, in the magical realm of London. It's a shadow realm. I don't really know how that anyway. A serial killer tried to kill a young boy, and instead of killing him, he possessed him with a piece of his spirit. And from there on, the two were locked in battle for the next 18 years, at which point the young man becomes a big man and destroys the evil villain. The end. If you haven't seen a Harry Potter movie, I don't know what to tell you, but go watch it. They're great. We're going to be reading Harry Potter after we finish the Hunger Games. I should be doing this around March or April. Fresh out of Hogwarts, hopefully unscathed, with all of my body parts intact, not murdered by a dragon, or a Death Eater, or any of the magical creatures in the jungle, or that giant spider, or the killer snake, or, you know, when you think about it, Hogwarts is not a safe place. And the fact that these people kept sending their children there with a serial killer on the loose kind of speaks to the lesser of the two evils. Anywho, I'll be wrapping up my year. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll probably be continuing my year and then starting next year reading the Shadowhunters. 17 books is a lot. These are not light books. See this? This is a lot of reading. So the reality of it is that I will be ending my year reading the Shadowhunters series, but I will probably in no means be finished reading the Shadowhunters series. But I am looking forward to jumping into the series, diving into the world of demon policing and non-human entities. I've always considered myself a pixie, and I hear that there are fairies in this book, so close enough. I understand the intricate web of the books is the part that is also kind of interesting to me. I am interested in seeing. So, my understanding, very loose understanding, that this whole thing is very much an ode to Star Wars, kind of. So, like, the City of Bones, the first 3 books are the children, the present day children's story, down to the parts where the part I do recall is that Jace and Clary think that they are siblings. Let me give you guys a quick overview of book 1 before we get caught up in the twisted web she wove when she practiced this series in general. Book 1 is all about Clary. Don't remember her last name. It's a long time since I read it. That's why we're reading it again, guys. It's all about Clary finding her mom, trying to find her mom. Clary and her mom live on the run somewhere. Her mom won't tell her why they're always running. Her mom's very nervous and anxious all the time. She thinks it's weird. One day, someone attacks them. Something attacks them. Something attacks them. I'm gonna say something, not a someone. Think it was a demon. Something attacks them. Her mom gets kidnapped, I think. There's a chalice that they put in a cup on a card, and it was like a card, like a tarot card, and that's where the cup is. But no one knows this. Why do I know this? I vaguely recall that from being in port. Like, it was the cup. They put the cup in the card, and it was a tarot card. She had it with her whole time. They've been looking for it, cursing, killing everybody. And literally, it's just that one card. They remember at the end of the book that it was that card. And you're like, aha, it was that card. Anywho, my point is that they go on this epic saga into the shadow world, and she gets to learn all about angels and demons and vampires, and I think her human friend gets turned into a vampire. It's a whole lot. My point is that is literally just like those 3 books. Those are the kids. The series itself spans generations of these people, Shadowhunters, the angel babies, or the children of the angel babies. I'm not even sure anymore. Then Bane has his own little side story. Then there's a Shadowhunters Academy thing that you can read. Lots and lots of layers. So many layers. I honestly feel like a smarter decision would have been to probably spend the whole year getting immersed in the Shadowhunters series. But ultimately, I made my decisions. And as you guys know, I'm very stubborn. So here we go along for the ride. We are jumping in to the many, many books that are on my TBR for 2024, my reading challenge. Wish me luck, because it's gonna be a rough one. So besties, I am super excited to kick off 2024 by throwing myself headfirst into these crazy worlds, these fantastical stories, these wild fandoms. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time rewatching the movies, because that is what I like to do on my Saturdays. Tell me what you like to do in the comments below. Have you read any of these? Are you guys caught up to that? Remember when I boycotted all YA novels a couple years back? We're back to YA novels because, frankly, they're easier to read. I'm not going to lie. Stay tuned for my journey through these epic battles, my magical escapades, the intense character developments. I'm actually most excited about these cosplay ideas because this will be something different. I get to do a little writing, a little creative writing on my own. And most importantly, I get to play dress up. And you guys know I love to play dress up. So hang out with me and all of my fun characters. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And for more videos like this, check out Blu Moon Fiction for blog articles, videos, and podcast episodes coming soon. Bye!